When it's Friday, you know it's my story. Welcome to the show. I take you back to our last episode where our guest Grace said that she was paid by her former boyfriend to abort their child. That child is all grown and she's here to tell us how life has been. Stay tuned. My name is Tabitha Nene. Hope.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Tabby.
Glad to see you looking this awesome.
Thank you so much, and also thank you for having me in your show.
Wow, we are grateful.
Yeah.
So tell us more about yourself.
I'm that grown-up girl now. My name is Hope.
You are.
My name is Hope Wanjiku Maina, daughter to Grace Maina and Stephen Maina.
Okay.
The firstborn in a family of 5.
Okay.
Sorry, of 3. I have 2 smaller brothers.
Okay.
I'm a student currently taking a bachelor's in counseling psychology at African Nazarene University.
Okay.
In my 3rd year.
Okay.
I'm also a poet. I do spoken word poetry.
So you can do that right now. Are you ready?
Yeah, but it's going to take a while. It's long. It's too long.
Okay. Maybe we can do it after this.
Yeah.
Briefly, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I love poetry. I'm generally into art. I love dancing, singing. I'm also a founder of a movement called Chosen Hearts Family.
Wow.
We basically just deal with children from orphanages and from the streets, and also recently we started a movement where we deal with young mothers who face a lot of stigma due to the pressures of society, of giving birth when you're young and all that. Yeah.
So before we even go there, where were you born? Where did you school? Like primary, high school? We'd like to know.
Okay. I went to Dagoretti Special School.
Special school?
Yeah, special school. It's in Dagoretti, South. I was born in Nairobi and raised in Nairobi as well. I went to high school in Gashoire Girls High School. It's in Kiambu.
Okay.
Yeah, and currently now in African Nazarene University.
Okay, going back to the coming to the main story of today. Yeah. Your mom was here in our last episode, like I explained, and she told us about how she was paid, to unfortunately to abort you. How did you learn that you are to be, aborted?
I think my mom was the one who came at me with the story, because as a young child, what many people don't know, that children are actually they reason. Even if they are 3 years, 4 years, they reason.
That's
because
true.
Playing outside, you'll see your friends with their dads, you'll see your friends with their moms, with cars and toys and all that, and they are able to process all that and to be able to know, like, why is my home, where is there no father in my home? But before I would even ask my mom, she came at me with a story. She told me how things went, and I think because at that time my father, we used to live around the same area. Okay. So I think she felt it right to tell me before I get to hear it from someone else. Yeah, and that's how she narrated the whole story to me.
How old were you?
Can't quite remember, but I think around 7, 8 years old.
So you're big enough to understand everything.
Yeah, was big enough to understand. And I like the way she came at me with it, because many times when single parents, sorry to say, but most single parents raise their children knowing their dad died, or their dad was, aligongwa na lori, alifanya something, something that doesn't exist. But coming at your child with the truth of the matter, like how things were, the raw truth, helps someone process as they grow. You're not 18, then suddenly you're like, oh, your father didn't die, then you start searching for your father and all that. So yeah, I think coming at someone with the truth, as long as you no matter their age, is very important.
And how old are you right now?
I'm 22.
Really?
Yeah.
we shall come to talk about that later. But and how did you take that, or what was your reaction when you heard about it? Were you bitter? How did you take it?
To be honest, it hurt.
I know.
At that time. And I'd say it hurt more because of my mom's story. It hurt more on, getting, as I grew older, you get to understand that people get heartbroken and all that. And so it hurt me more that my mom had to go through all that.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's physically challenged and facing all that by herself was what hurt me the most. I was not really concerned on having the father, because my mom remarried and I love my dad currently so much. And so on that side of my biological father, wanting to have him, I did not really take it too seriously. I didn't really dwell on that.
Okay.
But how I took it, I was hurt. I felt sorry for my mom.
But how were you able to move on or to overcome that feeling? I know it hurts a lot. Yeah, it hurt, and it took some time to forgive him. And I went to a certain school in 2016. It's a discipleship training school. Okay.
And in that school, I'd say that's where my healing process began, because it was a Bible school with a lot of spiritual things to learn about. And I just realized, when you're holding someone and not forgiving them, you're hurting yourself more.
True.
You're just poisoning your own self. And so I just realized I'm holding him for no reason, because at the end of the day, it's me who's going to cry in my bed. He's probably out there happy, with his other family. And so I just realized forgiving him and understanding him. You can forgive someone and not understand them. And it was hard to tell myself that I understand that he had to do what he had to do, and their relationship didn't work, and that's why things went how they went. But coming to grow to become, a lady right now, I would say I understood that yes, it was not the right thing to do, but as a young man, he would have probably been under a lot of pressure from his parents, from the society, from, that pressure of being a father, you're not ready. And so just telling myself every time that he had to do what he had to do, and it's okay. That's how I was able to heal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you, at one point, confront him?
No. We never talked about it. Okay. But there was a time when I was around 8 years old when I went to visit him where my grandmother lives, now his mother. Yeah. And it was not, we didn't talk about anything of the sort. Okay. And sadly, before he died, in late, 2018, before he died, I was supposed to go and talk to him and tell him I forgave him because he had already gotten into mental illness. And so I felt like maybe talking to him and telling him that it's okay, I forgive you, and life is good and God is good, and it's okay. He passed on, and I was unfortunately not able to meet up with him and tell him. Yeah.
So, but you forgave him in your heart?
I forgave him, yeah.
Okay, you've talked about mental illness. How long did it take, or how were you able to overcome that? I know it's hard at times.
Yeah. The mental illness was on him more.
Oh, I thought it was
not on me, not on him.
Okay, I get.
Because I've told you we used to live around the same area, and I know my step brothers and sisters, and so I had some stories about him being sick and all that, and that's why I felt the urge to talk to him. Maybe probably the fact that he went through that breakup with my mom could have been a cause. You never really know. Yeah.
You've talked about that you have an organization, Chosen Heart. Tell us more about it, how it started.
Chosen Heart started in 2013 when I was in Form 2. Yeah. Okay. I was only, is it 15 or 16, around there. And it started as a joke. It started as a hangout, I'd say, rather. We were like 8 girls. We wanted to hang out after school. You know, when you're in high school, you want, when you go for holidays, to go for swimming and all that. And so it started as a hangout. And then one day I realized we spent so much on planning those events, to eat, to swim, to do all those things. What if we channel some money from it and do something and just help people? I think I've always had a love for children since I don't know when, since kitambo sana.
Wow.
And so I've always, I think at the back of my head, I've always wanted to do charity, but I didn't know how. Until Form 2, when I noticed we can plan something with those girls and start visiting homes. And that's when we started. We started, we went to Kitengela, we went to Limuru, so many homes. Yeah, and it continued growing, and we are still growing.
How did you manage to get the capital to start that? You were still a student? Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I'd say we depended on our parents more, because you're saving your pocket money, you're selling mandazis in school, you're just trying to find some coins. And it was tough. Yeah, it was tough, because sometimes you'd find you've managed to raise 2,000 and probably the home you're going to has around 70 kids.
What?
So you're in a dilemma of, budgeting for that money. Will you buy toys? Will you buy food? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I also noticed from in this journey, in this charity work, that your presence is also very priceless. You would have 50 shillings, but being there with that child is priceless to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so sweet of you.
Thank you.
I mean, where did you get that inspiration from? You were so young. Of course, when I was in Form 2, I could think of, going for fun events and everything. So where did you get the inspiration from?
I think it's a bit hard to really know where it came from, because I think from the heart, just when you just look at situations, see people suffering, feel the urge to do something about it. I wouldn't say it's from a specific place, but I'd also say how my mom raised me, or how my mom has been raising me, because I believe I'm still a child to her right now, she has raised me in a way where I'm able to think for myself. I'm able to express myself and able to do things, and she's always holding my hand and pushing me to do. And so I think having those ideas and talking about them to my mom is what really propelled me to do what I did. Because you just come up with something, tell her, and then she gives you ideas, advises me and all that. So I think it comes from the heart, but I'd say also from people who have seen the vision and supported it.
So how many people or parents or even children have you been able to reach out to, probably through feedback? It's around 10 homes,
like 10 children homes. We also had a case of a street boy back in 2017. His name was Moses, and so we found that kid. He followed us. We had gone for charity in Central Park in town.
Yeah.
And so you've gathered with the street children, you've eaten, you've had fun and all that, and then so everybody is dispersing. So there was one child who remained behind, and we realized he had the urge to go to school, to go back home and all that, but it's because his mother was unable to provide for him. And so I'd say for the children, we have reached out to one-on-one. Moses, that small boy, would be the one I'd say we have really worked with him. But on general matters, I'd say we have gone to around 10 children's homes.
Okay, like 10?
Yeah, around 10. And we also go to Kenyatta, the cancer ward children, every December, Christmas.
How would you say or describe the abortion rate in Kenya?
The last time I did my research, it was kitambo kidogo, I think last year. It was at around 25%, and that 25% is on mothers who are below 18 years old.
Okay.
And the biggest factor of people aborting is stigmatization. Because you realize when someone, for example, let's say even now that I'm 22 and not married, things happen. I could get myself pregnant. But I still feel it would be so hard to live with it, or to, to get out there, because of how people are going to judge me and how people are going to, take it. And I'm not saying that I'm supporting, people giving birth before marriage, no.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it happens, it has already happened. You cannot take back the child. You cannot, it shall happen.
Yeah.
So the abortion rate is so high. And the biggest factor is stigmatization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when dealing with such people, you can face a lot of challenges. Can you tell us some of these challenges that you have been through?
Okay. You're talking about people like young mothers who are stigmatized.
Yeah.
Okay. The greatest challenge I'd say is convincing them that things are still going to be okay, regardless. Because I've realized people feel so hopeless and feel like a disappointment, especially when you're in a setup where your family has really invested in you going to school. They have really paid and sold the cows and goats and everything for you to go to school. And young pregnancies are usually seen as a great distraction, especially to education, which is true, because when you give birth, you have to take your attention to your child, raise that child. And so the greatest challenge is getting people to see that there is hope beyond that. Sitting with someone and telling them you will give birth, and that child will become a blessing, and you will still go back to school even if you're in your 30s or in your late 20s. It's so hard to convince them, because someone has already set their mind that by 25 I wanted to do this, by 30 I wanted to, the society has set standards that we feel if we do not accomplish them, then we are failures. And that is one of the greatest challenges.
How are you able to deal with such?
It takes time. Pole pole too. You just talk to someone and be patient, and being patient with them. Because yes, probably they'll accept the first month that yes, I'm pregnant, and yes, I'm going to give birth, and the child is going to be a blessing. But again, they go back to square one, because they realize, whoa, my friends are moving on and they're progressing, and I'm still here.
True.
But working with them throughout the back and forth, not getting tired. We get to box 5, we come back to box 1 with you. I think that is just how we've been able, or rather I've been able to deal with those that I know who have faced this stigma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leading such an organization is, it's a bit tough and challenging. Who is your role model in this?
Yeah. Actually, my mom.
Wow.
My mom. And because of the story she shared.
Yeah.
As you can see right now, I think she gave me the name Hope, and it was intentional. It wasn't just a name, it was intentional. And I feel like I need to be that beacon of hope. I need to walk in my name as if I'm it, walk in it kabisa. When you see me, you just see hope. And my mom, I'd say, is my icon, because for one, she's the one, she faced all that and overcame it. And got remarried and forgave him and raised me, and she's okay right now. So I always look up to her, and she's always telling me, hata mtu akipata mimba, it's not the end of the world. But sasa, talk to those girls so that they are able to know that they can wait until they get married. So I'd say the person who really, really gets and understands this vision that I have is my mom. And so, she's my number one.
Wow, I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that, taking after your mom. She's a great woman. Yeah. So what else do you do apart from school, leading the organization? And what else do you do?
What else do I do? I'm also in business. Tafuta tu pesa.
You also?
In business.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm also in business. So I do school and I also do business. Let's say just business too. And I write a lot. I do some blogs, and recently I've been thinking about some vlogs as well. So I really feel like I have the voice, like I have something. I'm being pushed to talk all the time, either through poetry, through dance, through whatever. I just feel I can't just keep quiet. I need to be out there.
Wow, I think we can do a collab of, we rhyme. I love poetry. I think we are almost the same when it comes to hobbies.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. And how do you unwind, after maybe probably weekends or after a long day work? Yeah.
Funny enough, when I write, for some people it's like it's a lot of work. It's another mzigo, but that's how I unwind. I just write stuff all the time. I'm always writing, and also music. I love listening to music. I'm not so good at swimming, but I love water. Yeah, and so basically I just do what makes me happy.
So you don't like hang out with friends or something?
Yeah, I also hang out with friends. But recently, because of Corona and moving and all that and work, it's been a bit tough to do that.
Yeah, I know.
There's FaceTime, there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook. You can always reach out to your friends. Yeah.
When were you at your lowest? You felt like this is not just it. You're so down. You felt like the world was against you. Maybe you can tell us if you don't mind.
Yeah. I think when I finished my Form 4, I didn't get the grade that I wanted to get. And at that point, I really felt like a disappointment. I got a D. A D. I got a D, and I'm not really ashamed of saying it.
Yeah, because it doesn't really...
Yeah, and also because I've realized there are schools which you can start from certificate level. I actually started from certificate level.
Wow.
Did my certificate, finished, did my diploma, completed, and started my degree. And so I use it as a way to just give people hope.
Yeah.
Because high school ni ngumu, by the way. And it was hard for me at that time. But I think at that moment, when I got my results, I was really at my lowest, and I don't think there's anyone who noticed it. But I felt like I would have done better.
I know.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't reflect who you are today.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're a great person. In fact, you've really challenged me.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay. And when was that when you felt on the top of the world?
Yeah. That was last year when I did my first event. It was the theme was Give Me Life. It was on stopping or curbing stigmatization of young mothers.
I think I attended.
You attended,
that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was here just in Kawangware. And I felt so good when we finished the event, and young mothers were there, happy and feeling so hopeful, and the feedback was great. And getting to see that art speaks.
Yeah.
Because on that day there were so many poets and singers and dancers, and it was fun. And also getting to show people that God really cares about the things we think are small. You have a pimple disturbing you on your face, God cares about it. You have mzigo about, you gave birth and no one is supporting you, God cares about it.
Yeah.
And so getting the feedback from these people was, made me feel so great, and made me feel I really want to continue with this movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the feedback that made you feel wow?
Yeah. Yeah, there was young. Okay, thank you. There was one young mom who had a child who was around 2 years old, and I remember after the event, the mother was young. She's young. She's around 20 right now. But her child is 2 years old, so she gave birth when she was 18, 17 apple. And so after the event, I actually didn't know she attended. She's my friend, but I had just called her ile tu juju, but I didn't know she had come. So after the event, she came at me and told me, wow, you've made me see that there's life after this, because her parents kicked her out. Her boyfriend, the same, aborted and all that. And she regained strength. she regained strength. And even though I didn't have the money to give her and go enda wanze biashara or something, you know, there's nothing great as giving someone that priceless thing that you can't get in the supermarket. You cannot get it. You cannot import it. And hope, giving someone hope, giving someone faith, and giving someone that courage to move on and to move forward is amazing. It's out of this world. Yeah.
So that's the one of the many feedback that made you feel so good.
Yeah.
That was great. I remember that event and it was wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Okay. And how about future? Do you have any future plans? Like probably 5 years from now? Yeah, where do you see yourself?
I'll complete my school in the next 1.5 years. That is counseling psychology.
Okay.
And counseling psychology is related to this movement because, you know, it's all about nurturing, all about the mental health awareness and all that.
And counseling.
And so I'll have completed school by then and probably joined a farm and I'd say if I look at my small goal plan, like in the next 2 years when I'll have completed school, I hope to have nurtured at least 10 or 5 girls.
Wow.
You know, hold their hands kabisa and you see to it that someone is really progressing and someone is really, if they've been kicked out of their home, they have a place they can call home and raise their child from that home. I've seen other homes the same, like they have, you know, the small girls and then they nurture those girls with their kids. And so I hope to do the same in the next 5 years and also nurture them and talk to them about mental health and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you single? Searching?
Well,
feel free to tell us.
I'm not searching because I'm settled. Let me leave it at that. I'm settled.
Wow, all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, hope you're such a blessing to the community.
Thank you.
Just face that camera and advise those young parents or those who feel stigmatized by early pregnancies. Tell them something.
Okay, hi there. There's one thing I've always known that is so true, that a child is a blessing. Whether they come when you're 19, when you're 40, when you're 50, a child is a blessing because God is the giver of life and there is no way a child can come from the devil or the enemy. And so a child is a blessing. Love your child, raise them well, because as you can see, I'm a product of a child who was supposed to be in the loo, but here I am today, telling you that child that people are stigmatizing you on and the whole hopelessness that you're feeling will not last forever. A day will come and things will shine again and the future will be so bright, you will not even realize how much you struggle with your child. So yeah, it is going to be hard, I will not lie, because I've heard the story from my mom and I've heard stories from other little girls. But what I know for sure is that if you believe and trust in God and walk with Him in that journey, you're definitely going to make it through, because a child is a blessing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Thank you.
I think the message is home. That is hope for you, giving you some hope. Don't kill that child. He or she might become a blessing to the community like she is. Yeah. She has brought so much hope to the hopeless. Thank you so much for coming to our studios.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed everything and I'm very challenged. Yeah, you're so wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Allow me to go through some of your comments. We appreciate your feedback on our social media platforms. I'm going to read a few from YouTube, from our last episode that we did. Ledisha Wamboi, I see you, saying what a wonderful testimony. We also have Anna Jo's Collections. I'll read this. It's a long one, but allow me to go through it. The story is so painful, but to the end, it's so inspiring. It also teaches mothers to love their kids no matter what. Glory be to the Most High God, because throughout the pains, that one passes through, He is always there. Thank you so much. We have Kay Mwangi saying, that's great testimony. We also have Duncan saying, amen, what a testimony. We also have Chris Njoroge saying, very powerful story. The story of Grace is a clear message that children homes are not the best for any child. We can remain there asking why the dad rejected her, but we could ask more powerful questions. Yeah, Chris, I feel you, and I've seen your message. We also have some from Facebook. Njenga Gerenge, good job. John K. Mahiga, very moving and encouraging testimony. Thank you for that. We have Ruth Geshinga, keep up the good work. Thank you. We also have Richard Thiongo, very encouraging. We have Kennedy saying wonderful, and more others. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to keep it AIC Riruta on YouTube and AIC Riruta Local Church on Facebook. Until next Friday, goodbye.